Can you hear me now? I think I was just muted. So it's going well so far. Um, how are you all doing? Happy Monday. What are you drinking today? What is your cuppa of choice? I have gone for straight up water today. So, yes, you can hear me now. Fabulous. Let me see if I can get the comments up on my phone so I can say hello properly. Hi, Jane, lovely. Natalie, so excited you're here, lovely, and so excited that you're joining Easing into the Vata phase. Really, really chuffed to have you there, and I am so honoured to be able to support you over the next 6 months. So it's gorgeous to be with you this morning. I have a manic pup. I have a completely, let me just show you, like, crazy pup alert. So bear with me if I'm a little bit scattered. Jane, you've got peppermint tea. Natalie, you're excited too. I'm so excited for you, lovely. It's going to be transformational. You're going to love it. You joining in. You joining in, pup. So, I wanted to give you the opportunity to ask any questions for anything that came up for you, for everything we covered last week. I know we covered a lot. We looked at lots of different practices, and I'm really aware that it was kind of a whistle-stop tour. There's only so much I can fit into 5 hours. Believe me, if I could give you the world, I would. But so I wanted to give you the opportunity to ask any questions that you've got about any of the trainings from last week, any questions you've got about menopause, any questions you've got about Ayurveda, any questions about my brand new program. I've already had a few questions in, so I am happy to... What are you doing, crazy pup? Here, have your rabbit. Have your rabbit. There we go. But I am happy to start with your questions if you've got questions first. If not, I will dive straight into the questions that I've already been given. And I can start with one now that comes to mind straight away. I had a message from someone that asked, can I join the program if I'm already on HRT? And the answer is absolutely. Of course you can. So this program, we will be looking at, excuse me 2 seconds. Luna, what are you doing? Trying to chew my cables. So this program, we will be looking at the full strategy to rebalance. And if we think about what HRT is, it basically replaces the hormones that drop due to the menopause. So you're going to be a nightmare today, aren't you? Are you going to have to go outside? Are you going to have to go outside? Hey? We will see how this goes. No. Come in. Come here. Stop being a pain in the bum. Stop being a pain in the bum and come for a cuddle. Yes. I know. Kisses. So, yes, you are very welcome to join the program if you're already on HRT. HRT basically just stimulates the hormones that drop due to the menopause. And if we think about what those hormones do, is they basically mask the imbalance that's going on in the body. So I'm not anti-HRT. If you need HRT, take HRT. That's absolutely fine. But this will basically restore the balance that's going, or imbalance that's going on underneath the HRT. So if at a later date, let me pop her down. Come on, down you get. So if at a later date you want to come off the HRT, or there's other imbalance going on, because bear in mind, these will only address the menopause imbalance and not the other imbalance that's going on in the body. Think of it a bit like the analogy we were talking about with a weed. If you cut off the head, the root of the imbalance is still going to be there. So if it doesn't manifest in menopause symptoms, it will manifest in other ways. It will move into the disease pathways. So you are more than welcome to join the program if you haven't reached perimenopause, you have passed the difficult phase of menopause and are just interested in restoring balance in the body, or you're already taking HRT. It will still serve you, because this is about getting to the root of the imbalance and creating a plan to move forward. I hope that helps, lovely. Oh, that felt a bit more difficult than it needed to. Let me have a sip of my tea, regroup, or water. I've also had a question around how does it work? So how's the program actually structured? So how it works is we actually begin, not next week, it's the week after, I believe. And from that date onwards, we will have lessons released in a platform separately. So that's not on Facebook, that's a course platform. And in there, you'll have a lesson each week, which will move you through this Ayurvedic strategy. On top of that, we will have a weekly group coaching call where we come together and share our experiences, what's going on for us. And you can get some help and support and advice and answers to any questions that you had from the training. On top of that, you have access to the Self Healers of Ayurveda resources, which is a whole bank of resources, including recipes, meditations, a load of trainings, retreats, workshops. There is so much in there, and you have lifetime access to that. You also, on top of that, as an added bonus, get a one-to-one session with me. In that one-to-one session, we will have a look at where you are, and we will do a proper intake. So I will ask you lots. The form that you have to complete before, I pre-warn you, we dive into everything. And there's a really good reason for that. The more I know, the more I can help you, with absolutely no judgment. This isn't about me telling you to give up everything you love and just do more exercise and eat healthier. It really isn't. And through that one-to-one session, we will complete an Ayurvedic plan, which is tailored to you, tailored to your needs. Will include all sorts of things. So some of it might be lifestyle changes, some of it might be dietary changes, but a lot of the time it's also mental and emotional kind of practices to help you really embody that self-healer mindset, that self-healer way of living. So I'm hoping that's sounding fabulous to you. I tell you what, I'm having a nightmare here. The puff is nearly pulling the laptop off because she's wrapped around the cable. What are you doing? What are you doing, Bubs? Hey? How have you done that? About getting a puppy while doing lives. This wasn't well planned at all. On the one-to-one, will our dominant doshas be established? So yes, basically, not just through the one-to-ones, but the training. Our first month of training is all around understanding the basics of Ayurveda. So that includes, are you coming up? You coming up, Bubs? So that includes, Jane, apologies about that, I am listening. So that includes understanding our Prakriti, which is our natural state of being, but also understanding our Vikriti, which is where we currently are, what's our current state of balance. Because when we know that, she likes to be used as a cushion sometimes. When we understand that, we can then make a plan to move backwards, so move back into our natural state of being. She's sulking with me now, hiding behind the cushions. So it's like having a toddler that wants all your attention. She so is. I call her our little diva because she really is a little diva. Yeah, proper little monkey, this one. Um, Plus, we will go into that and a lot more during the trainings together and during the coaching calls, and you will start to realize this quite quickly into the training. So yeah. Any other questions for me? In terms of the trainings themselves, we will have a look at, so like I say, the basics of Ayurveda, but that also includes a lot of the mindset work, because that's hugely important through all of this. Our first week is really focusing on self-love and coming back to that place where we appreciate who we are, appreciate why we deserve to look after ourselves, and really improve that relationship, because that's just so important throughout all of this. Without that piece, the rest is, hey, sit down. Sit. Come on. She just wants to play today. And then we will have a look at that full strategy that we went through in day 5. So that will include rebalancing our nervous system, because by gosh, don't we need it? Especially when we've got puppies on our couch trying to demand our attention. We will also have a look at restoring the gut health, letting go of toxins, rebalancing our hormones. So through this process, we will come to a state of balance, and I can promise you, you will feel so much better by the end of these 6 months together. On top of that, the other thing is, those of you that sign up and pay in full, you will get the option to join me for a 1-day retreat where we will be indulging in spa treatments and we will be celebrating the journey you have come on. That will be taking place in about September. I hate to say it, but it's generally everyone's favourite bit of the whole process. Don't get me wrong, the process is amazing and they love the process, but everyone always loves the spa day, because why wouldn't you? And I wanted to make sure that I gave you something, to the opportunity to really celebrate the journey that you're going to go through, because it is a fantastic journey and you won't regret it. So other things you need to know about it, actually, while I'm on the subject. Early bird pricing finishes tomorrow. So if you want to get the discount, which is about £500, so it's a huge discount, then sign up for Tuesday, so tomorrow, and then you will save yourself £500, which is pretty amazing. Okay, a couple of questions. Where will the spa retreat be held? So the spa retreat I normally hold on a hotel on the south coast. I don't do it on the Isle of Wight because it can be a bit of a faff for people to come over here, sorting out ferries, and then, you know, if we have a stormy day and the ferries are all cancelled, I didn't want that added inconvenience. So yeah, it will. It's normally a hotel on the south coast. Yeah, all right, missus. I'm doing something new. I'm doing something. What time are the sessions and how long are they? So in terms of times, when you sign up, we will have like a intro call in the group where I will talk to you and get everyone's availability, and I work around that. So if I have half the group that can only do daytimes and half the group that can only do evenings, then I will put in 2 calls. And then people can choose which call they want to turn up for. In terms of how long they are, generally about an hour. And if we've got time, we do something like a meditation. I'm having to laugh because it's just hilarious that she's decided to get her crazy hour on just as I'm going live. You want your tummy rubbed? Lovely. Yeah. So any other questions, lovelies? Anything that came up for you for last week, or any kind of menopause frustrations you want to get an Ayurvedic view on, let me know. Let me know in the comments. If you're not watching live, you're watching on replay, still put your comments in. I will come back. I will answer them. What software is the course platform on? So I use a platform called Samcart Courses. So it's easy to use. You can access it on mobile devices. And you basically have a login and then you have access to everything. How do you work out the imbalances? As in the whole Ayurvedic. Okay, let me try and sum up Ayurveda in a little time as possible. So basically how Ayurveda works, and we kind of touched on this last week, is we have the doshas. And the doshas are patterns of energy that manifest in the body, mind, emotions. So we will have a look at what patterns are showing up for you and whether they're in line with your natural state of being or whether they're not. We will also have a look at all the symptoms you're experiencing. So not just menopausal symptoms. We will have a look at what's going on for your digestive health, what's going on for your skin, what's going on for any other diseases that are happening to you. And then what that will do is allow me to understand what imbalance had triggered a spread into the disease pathways potentially. And then we basically bring that back to balance by moving back through those disease pathways. I've tried to explain that in a really simple way. So I'm hoping that helps. Basically, the imbalance starts in the mind, the gut, spreads out into the body. So we bring it all back and allow it to pass through. So I hope that makes sense. And we do that through a variety of different things. So that might be, like I say, we can often think when we're dealing with our health, we just need to, eat better, exercise, perhaps let go of stress. But the truth is there's so many things that influence our health. So that's why when you go through an intake session with me, I ask you questions about lots of things, or on the form, there'll be questions about lots of things. So yes, there'll be questions around what menopausal symptoms you're experiencing, what are you eating, how often are you moving your body, how are you sleeping, what kind of stress are you under, how do you cope with stress, but also what are your relationships, what's your family history, what was your relationships like when you were growing up, relationships like, because they all have a huge impact on our ability to feel safe and will trigger a stress response on things that don't necessarily need to trigger a stress response. So everything. We look at it all. Your job, how much you love it or don't love it, what kind of passions you have and what that says about you. And it's a truly holistic experience. Most people come onto my programs trying to fix something, trying to, fix a health issue. I went into this trying to fix a health issue. And it opens up a whole new world of being, a whole new world of viewing yourself, a whole new world of viewing your life. Not to mention the fact that because you're in a space with women where you're going through this journey, there's going to be times when you're really honest and really vulnerable. And with this creates really deep connection. Because not often in our life do we get to be truly vulnerable. And, a lot of the ladies that have come onto my programs were never that vulnerable. Do you know what I mean? There'd always been those strong, independent types I'm just here to fix my health issue. And through this process, it had opened up. And that has been truly healing and beautiful to watch as these connections formed. And I know all of them are still very good friends now and keep in contact with each other. They really are friends for life. I think when you go through a program as deep as this with people, it's impossible not to amazing connections. And plus, I only attract the best people. I said that the other day to, I think I said it to you, Natalie. Maybe it was someone else. Um, and I truly believe that, because you watch as these women grow, and yeah, it's amazing. So, any other questions for me? Now the puppy has passed out on the couch. She's worn herself out, looking all cute and innocent now. Yes, I thought it was you. I thought so. Jane, could this help reverse the condition? I don't ever make promises about reversing conditions. What I will say is there is a possibility of that. What it will certainly do is help you manage the condition. Um, and if we think about, basically, it depends how far the disease has gone. So, like I say, in Ayurveda, there's 7 stages before in the West we would even recognize something as a condition or a disease. So, we've got to bring it back through all of those 7 stages. So, I'm not going to sit here and promise you that that will completely disappear in 6 months. What I can promise you is that if you work with the program, you will certainly see an improvement. In terms of, it depends how far along you are with it, lovely, if I'm perfectly honest, but there will certainly be an improvement. I can promise you that, a hand on heart. If you bear in mind that when I when I went through this process myself, I literally couldn't get up the stairs because of my rheumatoid arthritis. I was going up the stairs on my bum. I couldn't lift my son. It was getting to the point where I remember I drove to work, and oh God, this actually makes me want to cry. I remember driving to work, and I'd got to a junction, and I looked that way, went to look that way, and my neck seized. It just, because of, it was so inflamed. And I got home, and I managed to twist my body and stuff. And I said to my husband, do you know what? If it carries on, I'm going to have to give up driving. And it was at that point I was like, I need to do something now. Thank God for Ayurveda. Now, I don't have any of those issues. So in Western terms, my rheumatoid arthritis is in remission. So yeah, it's certainly transformed my life, lovely. Not to mention, like I say, I went into this wanting to fix rheumatoid arthritis. That was my goal. But through the process of Ayurveda, I actually realized that I had been treating myself, my body, with such disrespect, and not even acknowledging it. And it all came from this place of constantly trying to prove myself, constantly feeling like I should be better, constantly feeling like, I don't know, not enough, just not enoughness. And through Ayurveda, I've managed to unwind all of that. I've managed to actually like who I am, and actually realize that the journey I went through for a reason, because had that not happened, there is no way I'd be sat here supporting fabulous women to embody their greatest potential and to look after themselves with the love, care, and attention they deserve. And I would not change that for the world. Does the content get released each month? So there's yes and no on that. You already have, as soon as you join, you will have access to a huge amount of resources, training, retreats, meditations, recipes that you can dive into immediately. Because if you're anything like me, it's like, gimme, gimme, gimme. I want it all straight away. So I wanted to make sure you had something that was going to like really keep you going in the meantime. You will also have a bank of pre-training, which is completely optional, but this is all around stepping into that self-healer mindset. And then each week you will have a lesson released in the platform. So that lesson will be our focus for that week, what we're focusing on. And through focusing on those lessons, you will go through this Ayurvedic strategy, but with me holding your hand, guiding the way. And there, if you have any questions, any problems, or any issues along the way, as well as having a gorgeous community of women that will be cheering you on every step of the way. And there will be weeks when you're like, do you know what? I can't, I just not feeling it this week. And you will see the women in the group rally behind you. And then there will be other weeks where you're like, I am on form. I have got this. I am so the self-healer. And you will be then able to repay that support to those women that are not having the best week. And that's really beautiful to watch. Jane, you're feeling so emotional right now. If we're unable to commit to my wonderful course, thank you, lovely, due to financial constraints, then are there any other options to be able to get your help and guidance? For example, a single session to steer us in the right direction. Unfortunately, the pandemic has affected our household income. Lovely, I'm so sorry to hear that. And I hope you are doing okay. I'm sending you so much love. I'm not taking on any one-to-one clients at the moment. My books are completely full, but if you message me, I will put you on a waiting list. If I'm honest, my one-to-one sessions aren't that much cheaper than this program. The fact that I'm throwing in a one-to-one session in this program is just because I really want to help you. And I think it will really help people to kickstart their progress in this program. But reach out and I'll see if there's anything I can do to help. I'll have a think. Lovely to hear the positive aspect for you and your healing. How long did your connection with Ayurveda start? So, coming up for 7 years. And the reason I know is because I started to get ill after the birth of my youngest child. He's now coming up to 7. And I'd had a good year of, I couldn't even get a diagnosis for a year. And that was so frustrating and debilitating. Felt like I'd completely lost myself through that process. Didn't know who I was anymore. I'd gone from being this go-getter, positive attitude. Also, I thought fiercely independent. I'd previously been a single mum, so was like really fiercely independent, and I did things for me. And if I wanted something, I went out and got it. And, and it just completely rocked my sense of identity. And Ayurveda, I feel like, came to me, which sounds, some people may say that sounds a bit woo-woo, but it literally felt like I was being guided towards it. I would read about it in a magazine. I would hear about it on the radio, or I had a herbal book. I remember this book that I had that my grandma gave me. I was always quite into, like, I don't know, I think I liked the idea of like homesteading. So I remember having like this homesteading book that my grandma had given me. And then I was reading through this, and there was a section on herbal remedies. I've always loved like herbal medicine. And I was reading it, and then it mentions Ayurveda, and I'm like, this is weird. So I started researching it. started reading about it, read all the books, realized the books didn't really help because they can only get you so far. And I then signed up for training courses. Again, felt like that only got me so far. So I signed up with a coach. And it was through working with a coach that I could really start to put the Ayurvedic wisdom into practice and understand how it related to me. And also where I was blocking and self-sabotaging on a really subconscious level. So that was my journey. Hope that helps. Oh, thank you so much. So kind and understanding. Lovely energy and karma. You're such a sweetie. Thank you so much. I love woo woo. Yeah, I love woo woo too. Nothing wrong with woo woo. I yeah, it's funny. I suppose I've always liked a bit of woo woo. But Ayurveda for me has put the logic into woo woo. It's because I'm also a very logical being. I love patterns. I love I do have quite a logical mind, so I like A plus B to equal C. And Ayurveda, for me, took all the woo woo and made it into something that made so much sense. So for me, it's got the best of both worlds. So lovelies. Any other questions for me? Honestly, I can't believe how chilled the pup is now. Let me just show you. Butter wouldn't melt. Oh, I think I've just disturbed her now. She's gone back to sleep. We're okay. Okay. If anyone's got any questions or just wants to have a chat about the program, if you're not sure if it's right for you, send me a message. We can have a chat. I will not try and talk you into something that I don't think is right for you. I promise you that. If we have a chat and I think no, then I will let you know. You know, it's not in my interest for people to come on this program that aren't going to see the transformation they desire. I like to see the transformation. Saying that, I can't think of a circumstance where, it wouldn't be right for you, unless perhaps, it might not be the right time or something like that. So, yeah, let me know. Reach out if you want to have a chat. So, I would love to have you there. I would love to have you on this program. This program for me is something that I'd been wanting to do for a long time. For a long time, I had been doing some one-off workshops with local yoga school around their menopause program. And I was getting increasingly frustrated because I could only deliver so much in these workshops. And I knew that I had to, I literally had to create a menopause program that was going to take people through that transformation so that they could really see the results at the end, because that's what lights me up. That's what I'm driven by. I love to watch people re-emerge. So this has been a long time coming. It had been something in the back of my mind for a while. So I am so excited to share this with you all. I would love the opportunity to work with you. And if you do have any questions, reach out. We can always hop on a call. And I hope to see you there. What I will do is I will also post in the group a little course tour that I recorded a while ago, which will just show you around the resources. So it'll give you an idea of, what to expect, what the platform looks like. And hopefully that'll be really helpful. Jane, you're bringing up a really good point around I've never invested in my own health. Do you know what? The first time I invested in my own health, I had so many mind monkeys come up around this because, and again, it comes back to this. I hadn't been treating myself with the love and respect I deserved. So it was ridiculous because even when I was earning good money and things, I always treated myself as the afterthought, or I would do what I call kind of like emotional spending. I feel like crap, so I will buy this. But never anything that was going to show me the love and respect I deserved. So the first thing I actually invested in was a meditation course. And I remember umming and ahhing about this thing for ages, and I knew I really wanted to do it. And anyway, for me, it was like as soon as I'd done it, there was an empowerment that came with that. There was okay, I'm really going to start showing myself the love I deserve now. But I also know how scary that can be, lovely. So I'm sure you are not alone in feeling like that. And I would just sit with, how would I feel if I did? And how would I feel if I didn't? Because that will tell you all you need to know. And it will tell you if you're operating from some kind of, unhealthy impulse, as opposed to, actually, I really want to invest in me so that this serves me, rather than emotional spending, if that makes sense. Okay, so I need to dash because I've got a client call. But reach out if you've got any questions. If you want to have a chat, let me know. If not, I am so looking forward to working with you, or those of you that choose to sign up in this 6-month program. It is going to be fabulous. I really don't think you'll regret it. And you will meet some fabulous women along the way and get to share that journey. Oh, Jane, you keep posting like really interesting points. So Jane, you've been meditating for many years, but like most things, never sustained, flitting from one thing to the next. Sounds like you've got excess barter going on, lovely. But yes, sustaining is the difficult one. And this is why it all comes down to the mindset. And this is why, for me, the mindset is such a huge point in this, because if you've just got the Ayurvedic knowledge on its own, which is what I tried to do through books, then it won't work. Because one, you won't know how to apply it to your body, but also like to your individual body. But also, if you don't have the mindset to sustain it, it won't work anyway. So this is why I have the self-healer method. Those 3 points that we really go into: the Ayurvedic wisdom, understanding your body and who you are, what makes you tick, what is likely to derail you, what is likely to make you soar. And then the mindset. How can we sustain that mindset of, actually, I deserve to be taken care of. I deserve my love and attention. I deserve to take care of me, honor me. Because the thing is, unless we do all of this, we're no good to anyone, which I had to find out the hard way. But so true, Jo. So important in every part of our lives. And this was my biggest block with health and well-being, was, I think, for me, the health coaches I saw, and this is no judgment to them, but this is how I'd interpreted it, were people that were drinking green smoothies, keeping to like salad-based diets, constantly doing exercise. And I always used to feel like I couldn't live up to that, so I can't be healthy. This was a huge mindset block I had to move past. Because to me, healthy was this really limited perception. It was like the people you see on Instagram, they're like posting themselves in the gym. And I thought, I can't be that, so I won't bother. So through our mindset, not only do we realize generally those people aren't healthy, and actually I work with a lot of those people now to rewind some of that, because they've gone so far into perfection that actually they've lost the health benefits and it's sending them out of balance. No, it doesn't work for everyone. You're completely right, Jo. Anyway, I could talk to you guys all day, but I really have to go. But it has been a gorgeous 5 days with you last week. I so hope you enjoyed it. Whether you sign up with me or not, please make the effort to look after you, to get some support, to take care of you, to restore balance in the body. And if you want to have a chat about my program, send me a message. We will get something booked in. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.